Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mama Genius Hub podcast. This episode is for you if you've been showing up, doing all the things, but something still feels off. You're smart, you're talented, because I know you are, and you're driven, and yet you keep questioning yourself. I know I have been too. That's what happened to Rosie Zilinskas. Decades of success. She hit a wall of self-doubt. But instead of pushing harder, she looked inward and uncovered one powerful thought that was silently sabotaging her growth. I don't know if any of you felt that. In this episode, she's going to share how one shift in mindset can open the doors to clarity and confidence and success that you were always meant for. If you're ready to stop doubting and start owning your genius, this is the episode for you. Mamas, welcome to the Mama Genius podcast, where real stories spark real transformations for moms ready to bring their vision to life. I'm Michelle DeKaiser, a mom of three, entrepreneur, and your biggest cheerleader if you've ever felt pulled to create something bigger, whether it's a business, a book, or a movement, but also felt the weight of daily life slowing you down. You are not alone. In just 15 minutes, we'll dive into insights, strategies, and real stories for women like you. Let's bring your visions to life, starting now. Rosie Zilinskas is a keynote speaker, certified high-performance coach, strategist, empowered expert, and founder of No Woman Left Behind. With 30 years of corporate leadership, Rosie now helps professional women rise with clarity and confidence. She hosts the No Woman Left Behind podcast and the creator of the Promotion Readiness Roadmap, combining AI and strategies to help women lead with intention. Her mission is simple: help women sabotaging their success and start owning their worth at work and in life. Welcome, Rosie. We're so excited to have you today.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you today. So let's do it.
Me too. I kind of want to know, we're talking about the self-sabotage, all of that. What's your why behind that?
My why behind everything that I do now is just to give back. I'm super passionate about helping the younger women, like 25 to 45, that are trying to advance in their corporate careers, and they just don't know how to do it. So that's my big why. That's my passion. I do work with executives. I can help people rise into the C-suite, but my sweet spot where I'm really happy and excited of seeing people just go from promotion to promotion is the younger echelon of women.
I love that so much. Now take us back a little bit to this part where you were self-sabotaging, and what was it that you uncovered?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I have discovered, both in my career and now working with a lot of women, is they come to me and they're the question of, Rosie, can you help me build confidence? And my answer is yes, but it's not confidence in a silo. The trick is preparation. And that's the biggest game changer that I have found both in my career and working with other women. Because when I was in management and I wanted to get a job as an executive vice president, I prepared for 6 months. No joke, 6 months. And it was like I had my sister interview me, my brother-in-law interview me, I hired somebody. And then the biggest thing there is I was one of 10 candidates in a Fortune 500 very competitive environment, and 4 senior executives unanimously selected me as the person to step into an EVP position. But Michelle, I want to be clear. It's not because I was the smartest person, but I was the most prepared person. I can tell you that without a doubt. Preparation, and when preparation is learning about yourself, knowing why you do the things that you do, and honing that so that you can explain to somebody else how you can help them solve a problem through your skills and your knowledge. So preparation is the number one thing that you can employ to bring that confidence. And then once you walk into a meeting and prepare your stories, you're crafting your script with full words, it is a game changer. And that applies to corporate and entrepreneurs as well.
I'm laughing right now because I feel like the universe sends me the guests that I need. Because literally, like I had a video before our call, but literally before that, ChatGPT and I were sitting, going through transcripts and everything, really honing in on my own messaging. And it's so true because when you feel like you stumble across your own words and you're like, someone asks you, what do you do? And you're like, like you're like, just come over you. And I feel like when you do know what those words are and you can embody them and feel them, and you do get that through the preparation.
Absolutely. And a lot of the preparation leads you to really key things. For example, I know my content pillars for my No Woman Left Behind, like I know exactly what they are. I know the marketing pillars. And now I've actually recently, in the last few months, layered the Donald Miller story brand over all of that. So now I have this super charged up, powerful way to show up as an entrepreneur. And I'm teaching my clients to do the exact same thing. But again, preparation is the number one game changer.
So we're going to be back in just a moment. We're going to dive into how to actually do the steps to preparate and get that message across to everyone.
Are you a mompreneur who feels a fire to create something bigger, a business, a movement, a message, but you don't want to do it alone? That's why I've created the Mama Genius Hub, a space where your vision is nurtured, your voice is heard, and your dreams grow alongside a supportive community. Inside the hub, you'll get bite-sized insights and strategies in 15-minute sessions. A community of like-minded moms who truly get it. Support to bring your vision to life without burnout. If ready to build your business and impact while staying true to yourself, join us today at connectingmamas.com. Your calling matters. Let's grow it together.
Now, I love that you were talking about the preparation, and you mentioned like your content pillars, your marketing, and then I know as a mompreneur who might be listening to go, oh, okay, I just feel overwhelmed all of a sudden. Where now, let's break down the word preparation. Where do we start, and what would be the first place so that the overwhelm doesn't set in?
Yeah. So for me, as an entrepreneur, we're naturally overwhelmed because we have so many things coming at us. And it's so interesting, Michelle, because I've been an entrepreneur full time. Just in September will be 2 years, but I've been doing kind of like my side hustle since 2019. And cool and interesting is now people are asking me questions, not just about how to advance in the corporate world, but how to manage your business, how to set up your business, and how to become a keynote speaker. So it's so interesting how now I'm like giving information back. But the number one thing I would say from trying to prevent overwhelm is don't try to take in 10 different things at the same time. Stick with one. So for example, you just said that you're working with ChatGPT on your messaging. I would stick with that project and that project alone until you're 80% satisfied. Once you're done with that, then you move on to the next project, which is marketing. A lot of marketing is social media for awareness, social media for consideration, and then social media for conversion. So those are 3 different messaging types that you do to attract people. But my point here is that take one project at a time, get it to 80% completion, and then layer in another thing. So that's what has been pivotal for me. This week, I've had to revamp my quiz. So I have a quiz that corporate women can take to figure out what their blocker is. And so I have been bound and determined this week to just focus on that. And yes, I'm doing other things, but I need to get that done so that I can put that project to bed before I move on to another thing. Before you know it, you have 10 projects started and nothing is done. So that's my way to stop the overwhelm and just focus on one thing.
I love that so much. And I love the word 80% complete before starting something new, because I think that is so true. Like you get into one project and you're like maybe 20%, and then you're like taking another one and then another one. And then like you have 10 projects at 20% or less and nothing ever complete. Oh my God, that's so true. Especially with the entrepreneur rabbit hole that we can go down as well. So I love that. So now when we're looking at like the preparation, so we're talking about one project, what are some invitations to be those first projects for someone who's getting off the ground and starting?
So I created my content pillars. So my content pillars have to do with, I think there's 5 content pillars. One of them is delivering knowledge. Another one is visibility. Another one is how do you actually prepare, so the custom career or the promotion readiness. And then there's a couple more. But I just went through, what am I trying to teach? What are the segments that I am really good at that I can give value back to? And I identify them, and ChatGPT helped me identify that. So I put in a bunch of my stuff and I said, hey, ChatGPT, I am trying to identify my content pillar. So the types of content that you're going to be creating. And it helped me hone in my content pillars really well. Luckily, I have a virtual assistant. So again, it's a layer of marketing, our content, and now we built in the story brand. So those are the three layers that are like our Bible for creating anything for our clients. And the Donald Miller story brand has been pivotal for me because it positions me as the guide and my client as the hero. So anything that I create is, how is this going to benefit my client? So those are a few things.
I love that. Can you elaborate just a little bit more on you being the guide and your client being the hero?
Yeah, so Donald Miller has a fantastic book, and actually I have it right here, and it's The Story Brand. And so The Story Brand by Donald Miller, everything that I do, I'm doing from this book. So it talks about, a lot of times when you're, and I see this in LinkedIn a lot, like when people are talking about themselves, it's like, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a podcaster, I'm XYZ, but I don't say anything about how I can impact a woman that's 25 to 45 in the corporate space to advance her career. Essentially, it kind of really pivots to take the spotlight away from you. And so you're the guide, you're kind of like in the background. So think of Star Wars, where Luke Skywalker is the hero and
You're
Yoda,
Yoda.
but he's in the background and he pops up every once in a while, but all of the message is for Luke. And so that's one of the biggest things with the story brand by Donald Miller, where I now know that I'm the guide. So anything that I write, whether it's an email, social media post, whatever, it has to be for my client's benefit. It's not about me, it's for my client. So he has a 7-step framework. And so the guide, identifying the hero, identifying the problem, the success, and then a few other things. But it's been, that whole story brand has been pivotal for me.
I love that so much. And I'm sorry that we're running out of time, but can you tell everyone how they can get a hold of you? And if you have a gift for the audience, love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the gift is, it's really for women in the corporate space. It's a free quiz and it helps them identify their hidden saboteur in their career. So I will certainly share that link with you, Michelle, so you can put it in the show notes. And the way they can find me is through my website, and it's nowomanleftbehind.com, and it's woman, WOMAN, nowomanleftbehind.com.
I love that so much. We're going to put you backstage for just a moment, give wonderful takeaways that we just got from today. Oh my gosh, so much gems in here. But let's start with building confidence, not in a silo, because number one, it is about preparation. It's really about coming prepared, learning about who you are in yourself, learning why you're doing it, and what problems can you solve for someone else, and putting that all together. And then number two, she brought together with knowing your content pillars, coming forth and figure out what that is for you. And number three is sticking to one. I'm going to repeat that for myself, sticking to one project until it is 80% finished. And I'm going to stick to that. I'm getting my stuff done this week. Number four is really about bringing that story brand together with the content pillars. And I love how she talks about, in number five, is really everything benefits for your client, right? The stories are all about your client being the hero. You are Yoda. You are the guide. I'd love to have your final takeaway, Rosie.
Yeah, I think the final takeaway is, and Michelle, you actually started our podcast with 3 deep breaths. So I really appreciate that about you. But really taking care of yourself first and then running the clock the rest of the day, because a lot of times we start working on our email and we don't work out, we don't do all those things, do our supplements. So take care of yourself first and then work on your business. So that's my biggest takeaway today.
I wholeheartedly endorse that completely, which is why everything I do is about women's circles and really getting into your own self as well. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you so much, Rosie.
That's a wrap for today's episode, Mama. I hope you found something in these 15 minutes that sparked action towards your dreams. Remember, your purpose matters, your dreams are valid, and you are not alone. If today's conversation spoke to you, come join us at the Mama Genius Hub, where you'll find support, strategy, and sisterhood to turn your calling into real impact. Let's grow this together at connectingmamas.com. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. If this resonates with you, share it with another mom here who needs to hear this. We'll see you next time.